What's going on? We are officially live. I've been doing these live streams every few days now, it seems like. I haven't done them, I think it was like a week ago I did it, and then before that though it had been a few months. But I like doing these live streams. I like the instant interaction and how easily accessible it is too with the cell phone, the iPhone. But as always, you gotta wait like a minute or so for people to pop in and see that you're live. I don't ever really do like advanced notice. It's just kind of like on a whim, spur of the moment kind of deal. So some viewers in here now, thank you for tuning in and watching and talking life and movies with me. And I'm having another Victory Summer Love Ale. What's up, Kenny Jones? How you doing? Second actually, Steven, because Kenny Jones beat you to the punch with Al Bundy right there. I used to love Married with Children growing up. That's a great picture too of him. But he's still going strong, rocking out Modern Family, Ed O'Neill. I always loved the movie Dutch. He always played those kind of like tough guy roles so well. I think he was a police officer in a few different movies too back in the day. But Dutch is one that was super underrated for me. I believe it's Thanksgiving comedy movie. Yeah, definitely Thanksgiving comedy movie, because I watch that sometimes on Thanksgiving. I think I watched it this past Thanksgiving, in fact. That and Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. But how's everybody doing tonight? Anybody watching anything good? I was going to watch the ESPYs, but your boy had a date. And that's why this video is entitled Bad Decisions, because I made a bad decision, like always. No. But that's for maybe another vlog. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk about that kind of stuff on a different channel. I feel like that'd be inappropriate to talk about on here. Keep it movie related, right? Keep it clean. Adventures in Babysitting. Holy moly, that is a classic for me. I grew up on that one. So awesome. That was Vince D'Onofrio. It's the same year that he did... oh my gosh, why am I drawing a huge blank? That great war movie that it was separated into two parts. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But the same year he was Private Gomer Pyle, whatever. He was also Thor in Adventures in Babysitting, which was such a fun, entertaining movie to me. Howdy, Maxa Jackson. What's going on? Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, that's so funny, Maxa Jackson. As soon as it popped into my head, you just put it on there too. Cheers to you. Yeah, I can't believe I was forgetting that one real quickly. But yeah, Full Metal Jacket. For me, I love the heck out of that movie. And it blows my mind that Vincent D'Onofrio was played the character of the Thor, the mechanic in Adventures in Babysitting the same year Full Metal Jacket came out. And for me, I love the first half of Full Metal Jacket so much better. But I love the movie overall. I know it's not movie related, but still love your Mexico travel advice video, man. Straight up truth and gut. I don't think that was me. I don't remember ever talking about Mexico travel advice. If I did, I don't recall it at all. But watch The Neighbor with Josh Stewart and Bill Engvall. Oh, I do. I like The Collector a lot, and I do like Josh Stewart too. He's been in a few different things. I like The Collector and The Collection. I saw Josh Stewart in another horror movie, which I think he might have directed. They were out like in the woods and stuff. I can't remember the name of it. It might have been like The Hunter or something like that, but I didn't like that one at all. I like the story about it better. Shane Clay, what's going on? Watch. Oh, that's an old school adaptation right there from same dude who did Full Metal Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. Can't remember his name right now. I had a couple drinks tonight. Forgive me. Needs more Polish women. I had a date tonight. She wasn't Polish though. She was Puerto Rican and Irish. So yeah, fun times, bad decisions. Hunter S. Thompson. There we go. Having the delayed reaction tonight. Criterion sale. Yes, Criterion it up. Yes, I already beat you to it, Darcy Murray. I said it before it came through. Have you tried Not Your Father's Mountain Ale? No, but I saw that you posted it on Instagram. I can't find it over here. I really want to try it though. Movie Music Man 75 Brian. I saw that you posted. I think I messaged you about it or commented on it. I haven't been able to find it, but I definitely want to try it. Any movie recommendations that came out recently? I haven't really loved too much that I've seen this year. There's a bunch of ones that I felt were underrated from last year. There's a documentary that came out last year. It was one of my favorite movies. It was the untold story of Private Vicario, I think it was. It was basically about a World War II vet who took all these pictures, and he just found all the pictures, and he's still alive today, and he goes back to all the different places, and he talks about his friends that were killed and the different horrific war scenes that he was a part of. And it was a very moving documentary. I think it was called Under Fire, the untold story of Private First Class Vicario, I think it was. But phenomenal one. And then Children of the Mountain, which was a film from Uganda. Very emotionally moving, tragic, heartbreaking at times film, especially dealing with how, you know, like myths and stuff are dealt with, especially in third world countries and stuff like that. If you have a baby that has some kind of, you know, a cleft lip, it was you did something wrong. This was you're cursed, essentially. Just that whole movie was so underrated. I never heard anybody talk about Children of the Mountain, but there's so many great films out there that are kind of fly under the radar, that are underrated. I haven't seen, as far as the movies that came out this year, there hasn't been really any that I would necessarily love. Well, Logan I loved. That, but yeah, I feel like every year I wait to the end of the year, and that's when like the limited release ones and the international films come over, and those usually make my top 10 list. But yeah, let me know if you guys have seen any great movies recently, and if you have any recommendations. Scrolling through the comments, what did the Not Your Father's Mountain Ale taste like? I think you said it tasted fruity. That does, I don't know, is it like some kind of like ginger ale? But no, it wouldn't be that because they have the ginger ale already. Do you have all the Vincent Price collections? I do not have any of the Vincent Price collections, although I would love to own them. I do like a lot of his films. I think House of Wax might be the House of Wax remake with him in it from back in the day. Was probably my favorite from him. Miyago Music. I don't know who that's a picture of. Do you have the 1988 Vanishing Criterion? Are you talking about this one right here? Bam. That's from 88, right? Is that the one? Yep, that's the one. I believe that was remade too. And I think the remake was not as good from what I can recall. But there's some Criterions right there. And I was actually surprised that I was able to find that. Usually it takes me forever to find something. Scrolling through. Have you seen The Last Shift? Yes, and I friggin' love The Last Shift. That's one of my favorite horror movies of recent years. So underrated. Definitely one of my favorite horror movies of last year. The Last Shift is probably one of the ones that had the most suspense for me. That and Green Room, although I don't really consider Green Room a horror movie, more of a thriller. But The Last Shift was just unnerving to me, and I love the way that it wrapped around at the end. Some really creepy imagery. If you're into horror, I would highly recommend The Last Shift. I do have that somewhere in my horror movie collection, which is, yeah, and part there, and then part here, and part in the other room. And I started watching a movie tonight that I was so excited for before I went out, called The Gracefield Incident. It was like a found footage alien kind of movie. So far, it's reminded me a lot of Extraterrestrial, which I have somewhere over here. But yeah, it's so far though. I was so excited from the trailer. But yeah, I'm not liking it. It's filled with cliches and bad acting so far. And there's an embargo to review it till next week. So, but that's just a teaser. I haven't finished it. Again, it has some good elements, but there's a lot of negative ones too. A lot of found footage and alien abduction style tropes going on. Scrolling through. Yes, The Last Shift, though, highly recommend it. Don't forget about the Arrow sale that starts on the 19th. Man, Criterion and Arrow in the same month? People are going to go broke on there. I'm watching Halloween, Fallen Angel. Awesome, you can't go wrong with that. Hopefully the original over the Rob Zombie one. Last Shift was in his last random Blu-ray shelf video. Haha! Maxa Jackson, you were on top of it. Good for you. Yes, it was. Cass McKay, just saw Body Bags last night. Good film. Yeah, classic horror anthology right there. I definitely dig that one. Me and my girlfriend saw Last Shift on Netflix and didn't expect it to be any good, but it turned out to be brilliant. Great to see more love for Last Shift. I need to do a full movie review for that one. I still want to do like my top favorite movies of last year. I think Last Shift might be on it. But yeah, that movie blew me away. I thought it was just one that's super underrated. I don't hear enough people talking about it. So great to see people on here who have seen it and appreciate it. Kenny Jones says, as for last year, I thought Mr. Church, big ups to you. I completely agree. Mr. Church was, for me, one of the most underrated well, I guess it's kind of mainstream movies of last year. Eddie Murphy's performance is great, as well as, was it Britt McMurphy or whatever her name is? She was really good in there, too. She was in that recent one with the guy, Ava Butterfield, I think his name was, who was in Hugo. But yeah, she was really good in there, and Eddie Murphy was amazing too. So yeah, I completely agree with that. Great to see more appreciation for Mr. Church. Very emotionally moving film. Watched it as French. It was scary. It's about being buried alive. Mall Gold. I'm not sure what that one was in reference to actually now. If you've ever had the soda called Ski, I've never even heard of the soda called Ski. Do you have my favorite love story called Brokeback Mountain? I do not have that movie. It's funny, though, because somebody was talking about that movie today. Yeah, if you like it, that's great. Definitely not my favorite, personally. Conjuring 2. Oh, I was not a fan of Conjuring 2. I know I'm in the minority in that one. I just thought it was too derivative and filled with cliches. You knew what was going to happen. You see the kid push the little toy. You knew it was going to come back out. And I thought that one, whatever that guy's name was, I thought it was just a ripoff of like the Slender Man kind of, the Crooked Man. But yeah, I think they're going to make a spinoff about the Crooked Man. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Conjuring 2. Just too derivative, just filled with cliches. You knew the room with all the crosses were going to turn over. What is better, Arrow Video or Scream Factory? Arrow Video, hands down for me. They do a great job with overall complete packaging. I think the price points are more worth it. Their box sets are amazing to me. The transfers, the special features, the titles that they choose. They do a lot of, like they have the Arrow Academy line now too. But yeah, the reversible artwork, newly commissioned artwork, the disc artwork, the booklets. I love Arrow Video. Scream Factory's good. I just think they released too many films that have already had like 5 other releases. And like the upcoming ones that they have, like they announced like the 10 ones that are going to be released coming up in I think October. 9 out of 10 of those releases from Scream Factory already have a Region A compatible Blu-ray release. So it's just going to be more of the same. Autopsy of Jane Doe is one film that I find underrated. I don't think it's underrated because I feel like it had a ton of buzz, but I think it's a great movie. I definitely plan to pick that one up on Blu-ray soon too. Belko Experiment I have not seen yet, but I've heard great things about it. What is the most disturbing movie you've ever seen? Again, that's a subjective one. That was The Men Behind the Sun was a creepy one. A Serbian film for me is one that just disturbed me for sure. But it's all subjective, really. Yeah, but I'd probably say, you know what? Oh, Angel's Melancholy. I was able to see that one with English subtitles, which I think now is impossible to find. But that movie was disgusting and disturbing to me. Yeah, anything with a lot of like vomiting I'm not into, and just gross, gory. I just thought those ones were made to be disturbing. You know, just that was their whole purpose. Disney's going 4K, yes. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. I want to see Doctor Strange. The visuals for that one were incredible. Bro, what are your favorite beers on draft? Also, the beard's coming well. Thank you, I appreciate that. Got the beard rocking. I mean, I'm big on IPAs, so I like Flying Dog's a good one. Stone Brewery, anything from them. Elysian, big fan. Southern Tier. I like Victory too. My aunt actually met Rob Zombie. That's awesome. I think I like his music a lot more than his movies, although I really did like Lords of Salem. I thought that was incredible. I still haven't seen 31. I have in the other room, and I still haven't sat down and watched it. 41 Ronan says, yes, I was looking for a Last Shift review from you. I'm surprised you didn't have one. Yeah, you know what? I want to do more full movie reviews. But my computer is a POS, so I'm going to try to get a new computer and then start rocking out the reviews. Last Shift is definitely up there for films that I plan to do a full review for. I've talked about it briefly, showed it briefly, like somebody just pointed out, Max Jackson. I had it in my my last random horror Blu-ray shelf video, so I briefly talked about it, but I want to do a full movie review for it because it deserves it. Max Jackson, I told a friend to watch Last Shift, and he said it was terrible. But he hates Your Next too, which is crazy to me. Yeah, I mean, everybody has different tastes, but yeah, to me, I thought Your Next was a great home invasion movie. I thought certain things you could see coming, but it didn't matter. It played out so well to me. and I love the lead actress in there. But Last Shift was incredible. Bootzilla, what's up, man? Last Shift, yes, great to see more love for Last Shift. It's so funny, like I never hear anybody talk about it, and now all of a sudden everybody knows it. That's awesome. Dan Finnegan, what's going on? I went to high school with a Dan Finnegan. Yeah, it's funny because there's been a few people from high school who've seen my videos, which I think is kind of funny, but kind of cool too. Miyagi Music. I am now sipping on a brewski myself. Summer Love Ale from Victory. Decent summer beer. 4K is going away. There will be no 8K format at all. 4K isn't going away. Hush your mouth. No, 8K will never happen for home video. So yeah, that's never gonna happen. Sci-Fi made a Crooked Man movie. It's a shame that Michael Jai White is making such terrible movies. I think he's a very talented actor, especially action movie wise. Undisputed 2. I mean, Spawn. I mean, what happened to his career? I thought he was very talented for action movies. Any Criterions you would like to see get announced for October this Monday? Yeah, I heard Night of the Living Dead is going to happen. So yeah, I think that's already gonna be a thing. But there's a whole bunch. I had a list for movies that I wanted to get a horror or a Criterion Collection release, and then I also wanted to do a video on like the top horror movies that should get a Criterion Collection release. So look forward to that. I'll be doing a video for that. Hi, I'm from Calwyn Bay in North Wales, UK, up at 3 a.m. Thank you, Daniel Moore, for tuning in. That's one of the things I think is super awesome when people are tuning in from all across the world. Like I've had people from China, and it's awesome that you're staying up to chill out with me and talk movies with everybody on here. So big ups to Daniel Moore. And Max Jackson says we need a Candyman Blu-ray release. I thought that was already happening. I thought Scream Factory was releasing it. I know that they had like the second one, I think, right? And I know there's a UK one that's region free. Do you get any premium releases, Nova Film, Arena, and Manta? No, I do not. I'm going to probably get one. I'm not generally a big fan of those companies. They do great jobs with the releases, but I'm just not down to pay 50, 60 bucks for a lot of the mainstream titles they have. I know Plain Archive does some ones that are a little bit more, not necessarily mainstream, but there's one, I want to get the Apocalypto. I was going to say Apocalypse Now, but the Apocalypto one, which I think might be Nova Media. I'm not sure. It has like the lenticular cover. That one to me is like one of the only ones that I'm going to get. I know a lot of people collect a bunch of those ones. And for me, it's just, you know, I'm not doing that. Yes, I've seen Martyrs. I've talked about Martyrs before. It's a good French extreme movie. It's not my favorite. I would put Inside and Frontiers above it. I love the first half of Martyrs. The second half to me was just essentially torture porn. It was the girl being chained up and beaten for like 40 minutes. And it was just too much of that to me. It just didn't really do anything for me. And I thought the concept with the Martyrs was terrible. And I did see the remake, and I didn't think the remake was garbage, but I felt like it was unnecessary. It was a watered-down version. Hostel or Saw? I'd go with Hostel, actually. I feel like Saw, the first movie, was by far the best. After Saw 3, they become unwatchable to me. But yeah, the first Saw movie was by far the best. It's made a big impact in the horror genre, but I think it has its flaws. For me, I just enjoyed Hostel more. Hostel 2, and Hostel 3, bleh. But Hostel 2 actually had 2 amazing kills, especially like the sickle one with the bloodbath. I thought that was an amazing kill. One of the greatest horror kills ever for me personally. But yeah, I'd choose Hostel over Saw, but that's subjective. I'm happy that Phenomena's get a Synapse release. Yes, I already have a few Phenomena releases. I know Arrow Video released it again. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, so chances are I'll probably pick up all of them. The top 5 go-to movies, are you talking about like rewatchable movies? Because that's different than my all-time favorite movies. So that's a different, and let me know which one you're thinking of. Are you talking about all-time favorite or just all-time like rewatchable? A few hours ago I watched a fun movie called Slashers 2001, reminded me of Matthew Lillard and Scream at the end. I don't think I've seen that one. My dream release, I mean, I did my top 10 horror movies that I'd like to see get a Blu-ray release. I don't know if you're talking about, are you talking about getting a release with certain companies or just a Blu-ray release in general? Let me know. have you seen the UK horror film The Cottage? There was a US remake, but it looked really bad. I think there's a couple films called The Cottage. I saw one where it was, it's been a long time, but it was like, essentially they went to kidnap somebody. I want to say it was some guys, they kidnapped somebody, and then there was like a killer on the cottage. Is that The Cottage movie you're talking about? I know there's another one with like David Arquette, but that wasn't a UK one. So, yeah, let me know if that's the one you're talking about, because I have seen that one. And I thought the second half was way better than the first half of that movie. Only movie I'm looking forward to this year is It. Yeah, initially when they announced It and I saw the pictures and Pennywise, I didn't really like the look of him or the young kids. They all had like baseball caps. I thought that was weird. But seeing the trailer blew me away. I'm definitely looking forward to It now. I have watched the French movie Irreversible. I know everybody loves that movie. I thought it was overrated to me. I think after the initial scene with the fire extinguisher, it just feels like a gimmick to me. And there's the one scene that everybody talks about. I didn't think it was, I don't know if you've seen like I Spit on Your Grave and so many other kind of movies like that. I didn't think it was anything that out of the realm. So I'm not a big fan of Irreversible or Gasper No in general. I felt it was overrated, but again, I know I'm in the minority in that. I know it has a huge fan base. That's funny. Reason I started buying some of the premium releases was because of the Apocalypto release. So you're saying that I might get hooked after the Apocalypto release? It's possible. But here's the thing: those real premium ones that you released, that you talked about, Nova Media and some of those other ones. A lot of the ones that they put out are ones like that are just such mainstream ones that I'm just not necessarily something that I would want to have a really sweet release for. Like they do a lot of comic book movies and stuff from what I've seen. I think they did like one of those companies did like a Big Hero 6 one, and those are just ones that I'm just not super into. Like Apocalypto, if they do more ones like that, a little more like maybe darker ones, or if they did more horror movies especially. I don't know if they even have any horror releases, but then I would probably get more into it. Seeing a Hostel where he cuts the, any kind of ones where they cut the Achilles tendon, always gets me. I know, it's funny, I just mentioned that earlier, 41 Ronin, that I have not seen 31 by Rob Zombie. I have it in the other room, and I have not been able to force myself to watch it because I saw the trailers and I'm like, this looks like such self-indulgent Rob Zombie. Sherry Moon is in there, of course. And the trailers kind of didn't really sell it on me, but I did love Lords of Salem. I've loved some of the stuff that he's done. But yeah, I should really watch that soon. I've had that sitting for like forever. The Final Girls. Yes, see, there's two different ones. And it's funny because one of the actors in there was in both. There's a movie called The Final Girl and then The Final Girls. And Final Girls, yes, okay, I have it right here, in fact. Final Girls is this one right here, which is super awesome and hilarious. And if you love horror comedies and slashers, old school like 80s slashers, I would highly recommend The Final Girls. That was a lot of fun. And one of the actors was in another movie with Abigail Breslin and Wes Bentley called The Final Girl, and that movie was hot garbage. But Final Girls, amazing. Highly recommend The Final Girls. A lot of fun. 31 was horrible. No, it wasn't even gory? That's surprising. I would have assumed 31 was super gory. 41 Ronin, did you see 31? If so, what did you think of it? UK, it's got Andy Serkis in it. Okay, again, is The Cottage, let me know, is The Cottage the one where, like, they kidnap somebody? There's, like, I want to say it's, like, a group of people, and there's some kind of, like, I don't know, maybe, like, I don't know, they kidnap somebody at this thing, and the person gets away and goes to the cottage area, and there's somebody who's, like, a killer there. That's the one that I remember called The Cottage. Maybe it's a different one. Maybe I need to look it up. Because this was back before Andy Serkis was as huge as he is now. Recommendations for Barnes & Noble. Hoop Dreams is one that I really want to get. So that's probably high up there for me. It really depends on what you're into. If you're going to talk about ones that are like La Haine, I would highly recommend. It's one of my all-time favorites. One of the best modern black and white movies. Has Vincent Cassel in it. Stroll through theater. If you can get the Three Colors trilogy, I would highly recommend that. One of the best set releases from Criterion, in my opinion. I like the Pooh trilogy, Persona. You got to get some Bergman in there. I wish Port of Shadows would get Blu-ray release from them. It's one of my favorites. Secret Honor as well. Probably one of my favorite Altman films. The performance rate from the lead actor, Philip... what is his name? I can't remember the guy's name. Phil Baker Hall. He was so incredible in the lead performance there. But yeah, it really depends on what you're looking for. Rosemary's Baby is one of the best horror releases from them. Another one that I wish would get a Blu-ray release is Vampire. But yeah, there's so many great releases from them. It's hard to pick. Mulholland Drive, I mean, if you like Boyhood, their release for that is really good. Ride with the Devil, I feel like is such an underrated one that I never hear anybody talk about. I need to get Ice Storm too. Ice Storm, I had the DVD. I got rid of the DVD because I want to upgrade the Blu-ray for it. But I like, those are some of the Ang Lee movies that I really love. Those are a couple of my favorites from him. Fisher King is probably my favorite one with Terry Gilliam. Has Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges in there. But there's so many phenomenal releases from them. It's hard to pick just like a couple. But those are just a few off the top of my head. 400 Blows. I just watched a movie, a Malick movie, and Malick to me is just killing me. He makes 2-hour movies that seem like 8 hours long. Those things need intermission so you can gather your sanity. I watched Song to Song. Great cast in there. Michael Fassbender, Natalie Portman, Ryan Gosling, Rooney Mara. Love the cast. Val Kilmer was in there. A few other, Patti Smith, Iggy Pop. It was set with the Austin, Texas movie scene. I mean, music scene rather. But yeah, man, it's so much. It's so superfluous. Style over substance. It felt like the plot was secondary to the visuals and the cinematography. I used to really like Malick, but the past like decade or so, just killing me with those movies. All right, hold on. Scrolling through here. I probably missed a bunch. Yeah, I missed a ton. Hold on. Forgive me. Jacksick99, what's going on? Irreversible is one of my all-time favorite gory movies. Dead Alive as well. What do you think about James Wan, the horror director? Yeah, I'm a big fan. I love Dead Silence. Death Sentence is one that was really underrated that I never hear anybody talk about, with John Goodman and Kevin Bacon. Of course, The Conjuring. One, I Spit on Your Naked Corpse to be released in the U.S. Inhuman Resources. Yeah, I did see Inhuman Resources. That goes by a couple names. I thought that was pretty decent. I like the lead actress in there a lot. But I had a feeling about the twist to it with the one character. I haven't seen 31, but yeah, 31 I need to move up to the list because I've had that for a while and I just haven't sat down to watch it. Yeah, then I'm pretty sure I did see that one, Daniel Moore, a long time ago. Yeah, Final Girl with Abigail Breslin is one of the worst. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny because the one actor in there, the lead actor in The Final Girl, was also in The Final Girls. Final Girl is incredible. Final Girl, garbage. Before Trilogy is one I definitely need to pick up, and I agree with you on that one for sure. Mark Castle. The Fisher King, yes, I got The Fisher King. That was a day one. Jay, news to these Criterion collections. Why so expensive? Again, for me, it used to be what they used to call Criterion Collection was like film school in a box. It's some of the best films out there in the world, international, modern, classic. They do a great job with the transfers, the booklets. They have film scholars talk, tons of special features on there. You get the clear case for the packaging wise, usually some interior artwork or liner notes, just loaded with the bonus features, and the transfers, the big thing too. Usually their releases are the definitive releases for those films, and a lot of times they do a lot of great restoration as well. They're, for me, one of the best companies in the world releasing films. A lot of times people complain that, they don't have, they do a lot of different things that people aren't interested in, a lot of too international films or films they're not aware of, but you should expand your horizons, check out more films. I do wish they would do more horror releases though. That's my only criticism. Scrolling through the comments still, Ang Lee directed Brokeback Mountain. Yes, that's probably my least favorite movie he's directed, but it's one of his most popular, of course. But for me, Ice Storm, Ride with the Devil are my favorites from him. Love Fisher King. Yeah, no, I saw Inhuman Resources. I thought it was good. I thought it was decent. It didn't blow me away. I felt like that was one that got a lot of hype. How do you get in contact with actors to do interviews? Usually it's set up. I've had a few people actually reach out to me, which is cool, but a lot of times it's set up through different companies and studios, and they want to promote like a certain release. So they'll give you the contact, they'll set it up for you. I had a chance to go to New York City to do interviews before in the past, but usually I do like phone interview stuff. But I thought it's had some great opportunities. Yeah, Danielle Harris, talking to her was probably my favorite because I still have the hugest crush on her. She's amazing. I've not been collecting long. I have quite a lot of movies at the moment. I'm collecting horror, any must-haves. I'm going to do a whole video on that, must-haves. I mean, you think of all the classic films, like the 80s franchise ones, but I want to do something like maybe by decade or something like that too, because there's so many. I would say Rosemary's Baby. If you want new, like French Extreme, I would recommend Frontiers or Inside. If you like the Strangers movie, I would recommend Them, which is a French movie, over The Strangers. But there's so many. I would say The Witch is one that was really good, and then The Shallows I loved for like recent ones, and then Last Chef I already mentioned, but It Follows was another good modern one. The Babadook, another good modern one. But yeah, there's so many great ones that you could put in there. But for me, I like a lot of the old school slashers, like the original My Bloody Valentine, the original House on Sorority Row, Tourist Trap, Just Before Dawn. Ones like that for slashers. Intruder was another classic slasher. Do you watch any silent films? Yes. I feel like I watched more silent films like a couple of years ago than I do now. But I know if you're into silent films, I'd recommend like Ryan Chataway and Luke from Razor Wire Reviews. They do a lot of coverage on like silent films. I'm always looking forward to good ones though. I just bought Bedeviled, the Korean one. I randomly saw it in one of your old thumbnails. Yeah, Bedeviled to me is one of the most underrated horror movies out there. I've been talking about Bedeviled for ages. I put it on, I think, my top 10 underrated horror movies on Blu-ray list. I'm going to do another one, an updated version of that, because there's so many movies out there that deserve... I would put Last Shift on that one too. But Bedeviled still needs to be on there. Such an underrated horror movie, and I would recommend everybody to check out Bedeviled. It kind of has dramatic pacing, but the payoff is incredible and so worth it. And just, that one gets me every time. Yeah, highly recommend Bedeviled, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Have you seen the Korean film The Wailing? Yes, that was my favorite movie from 2016, in fact. It's a great genre blend. It starts out with kind of like bumbling cop. Then, you've got the comedic elements. Then you've got crime, drama, thriller, but then finishes strong with horror. And I consider it a horror film. But I love the different levels of the characters and the way that it just comes together at the end. It's one of those movies, one of the only movies ever where there's only 2 movies where it ended and I had to sit there and think about it for like 5 minutes and try to figure it out. So that was one of the only ones that ever did that to me. That and The Machinist. The Machinist took me 5 minutes after the movie was over. I was like thinking about what? And then I got it and I was like, oh my gosh, blew me the heck away. Same thing with The Wailing. The Wailing was amazing to me. That was another modern classic horror movie. I would also say for modern horror classic ones, Let the Right One In was one that's kind of transcends genres, but an amazing film. The Masters of Horror box sets. I definitely enjoy the Masters of Horror TV series. And I have somewhere, now I'm kind of bugging out, where did I put that? I have the little, I have the Mausoleum set down here. Right, yeah. And then, is it the Skull set somewhere? I have the Skull set somewhere. I don't know where the heck it is. That's actually kind of bugging me. Oh, there it is. It's friggin' on top. I'm out of it today. There it is. There's season 2. A terrible set design, but that thing is out of print and goes for like absurd money. But I'm gonna keep that one in the collection because I love that series. Leave your horror for Arrow and Scream. Yeah, absolutely. The Void is one that I plan to see. I think somebody told me that it was just on Netflix now because it used to be on Amazon Prime only. I heard it has some like Carpenter feel to it and The Thing feel to it, so that sounds right up my alley. I plan to check out The Void very soon, probably this weekend. I love I Saw the Devil. I don't consider it horror at all. I consider it a crime thriller movie. My only issue is it's like a catch and release thing. I feel like I would have finished it right away. So that's my only gripe about it, but a very tense, palpable, well-acted movie. Just, yeah, I love the heck out of that movie, but I don't consider it horror. I remember briefly listening to your interview with John Jarrett. Yeah, that was a really cool opportunity. That was like my first big like actor interview. He kind of gave a lot of short answers though, so I was kind of like stumbling to try to come up with more stuff. But yeah, that was a great experience just to be able to talk to somebody like that. He's, to me, a legend. I mean, Wolf Creek, I loved Wolf Creek too. And then I haven't checked out the TV series, but I've heard good things. Yeah, no, I was very pleased to have that opportunity to speak with legends like John Jarrett, Ray Wise. I've talked to, there's interviews that I've done that I still haven't posted yet that I still need to. My favorite Masters of a Horror Story, Imprint is up there for me. What was the Incident on and Off a Mountain Road? I really like that one too. But those are probably my two favorites. But there's a bunch of really good ones to me. Really, you didn't care for The Void. Well, that's a bummer. I've heard pretty good things. Session 9 is absolutely phenomenal. Great psychological horror elements going on there too. I love the Danvers State Mental Institution, which I think there was like an actual mental institution that they filmed at. I got to get that Blu-ray release for sure. That's high on there. Maximum Overdrive needs a US Blu-ray release, but it does have an Italian region-free Blu-ray release. If you didn't know, now you know. Which movie that you watched literally disturbed you or you find the most disturbing? Somebody already asked that. Salo, Men Behind the Sun, a Serbian Film, and Angel's Melancholy. And any of the Vomit and Gore trilogy, too. Those are ones that I felt like were made for the purpose to disturb you. Cigarette Burns was a good one. Fair Hair Child was Jennifer. Yes, I do have Pan's Labyrinth on Blu-ray, but I want to get the Criterion one for that. I don't have that, and I want to get that. For sure. But, I'm actually thinking about doing another channel, like kind of a just like strictly vlog channel, more dedicated to talking about life in general and like vlogs and dating life and stuff like that. Stuff that I feel like, you know, I might say things that are not necessarily controversial, but things that I feel like, you know, I pretty much keep this channel clean for the most part, but I would, on that channel, I'd probably be a little bit more open and honest about stuff. Like I was going to talk about my date tonight. Bad decisions galore. And maybe I would do like the Polish girl videos with her on the other channel, because again, I had people complaining about, like when we got together, we were, you know, talking raunchy or dirty or whatever. And, you know, it happens. It's part of life. We all have, you know, different facets of our personality. So, you know, that's part of life. But I figured I might do a separate vlog channel talking about those kind of parts of my life. Because I was so, when I came back, I was like, oh, that was a terrible decision. What am I doing? I gotta stop doing this. And then I was gonna talk about it on here, but I was like, you know what? That's inappropriate to talk about that kind of subject on here. Is that beer good? That beer is good. It's a good summer beer, Summer Love Ale from Victory. I would recommend it. It's a, you know, a typical summer beer, but one of the better ones for me, in my opinion. I know I did a review for a summer beer that everybody loved. It was Hell or High Watermelon from, was it the Fifth Amendment beer? Whatever one it was, but I thought that was so overrated, and for me, a terrible one. It tasted like, it was like essentially like a watermelon ale. It was, it tasted like a Jolly Rancher dropped into like a Bud Light. I thought it was garbage, but I know a lot of people love it. Did you ever see the Slasher Canadian TV show? No, I have not. Is it good? My name is... Any scary movies you watch make you scary to go to bed with the lights out? The movie that scared me the most was Fire in the Sky, which is an alien abduction movie. There's a scene where he gets abducted and he's on the alien ship and he's on the operating table. That to me still gives me freaking nightmares. The Poughkeepsie Tapes is another one, which is finally getting a Blu-ray release from Scream Factory. Thank you. You did something good there, Scream Factory. You released something that doesn't already have 10 other releases. So props to Scream Factory for that. That one completely creeped me the heck out. And I would say Last Shift probably creeped me out too. That was one that definitely, there's different levels. Like Martyrs, they try to go for more for the disturbing gore kind of thing. That didn't really freak me out. It's just like, it was more gore for gore's sake for me. I hated the concept of it. But I love the first half of the movie. But the Last Shift was definitely creepy to me for sure. Any plans to do any Criterion shopping with the 50% Barnes & Noble? I didn't get anything for Prime. I thought most of the deals for the Prime were pretty bad. My roommate had Prime, and he was going crazy with Prime. He got all kinds of stuff, some weird stuff too. Some kind of weird. I think he saw it on some other YouTube channel where they do like reviews of like different products on Amazon, where it's like this like stuffed animal creature, and you like pull it, and it makes like an evil face. I was like, that is so bizarre. But I feel like reviews for that kind of stuff get tons of views. But yeah, I thought the Amazon Prime deals for Blu-rays were pretty bad for the most part. There's like a couple here and good there that were good, but overall, no. I do plan to pick up a couple of the Barnes & Noble Criterions. Not too many. I'm trying to maintain the budget. My dog is sick, so every month I spend like $600 just on his 4 medications and prescription food. So that adds up. And you know, there's rent, utilities, food, you know, if you want to go out on dates. So you have to take that into consideration. So I have to kind of curtail the spending when it comes to movies. But I do want to get at least a couple. Lights on? No, I thought... Oh, you were talking about... No. I saw the movie Lights On, Lights Off, whatever the heck it was. I have it over here somewhere. I thought that movie was kind of a disappointment, nowhere near as good as the short film it was based on. Wish Scream Factory would stop redoing movies that are... Yeah, no, I say that all the time. I do the same thing. Like, I mean, they announced Dawn of the Dead. I already have that Blu-ray release for it. They announced Land of the Dead, which I have a steelbook for over here, which is region free. It's a German steelbook, which I was able to get signed up by John Leguizamo, which is super awesome to me. Beautiful signature. And, I mean, that's region free. I have the Blu-ray release for it. Why do I need another, you know... I thought the artwork for both of those ones were terrible, too, from Scream Factory. At least from what they've shown so far. Yes, I've seen Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. I know some company just recently re-released it, and it was supposed to be like, you know, the best version of it. So I do want to pick that up. So you don't like those Ouija movies out there? No, I could not stand the Ouija movies. I feel like a lot of the... I had this conversation earlier, in fact, on the date that I was on. But most of the mainstream horror movies that come out, like Bye Bye Man and all the Paranormal Activity movies, for me, I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. So it's disappointing. Like Cult of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, both of those movies should have been released in theaters. If movies like Annabelle and Paranormal Activity 7, whatever, you know, Saw 8 is going to be coming out. They're going to make another Saw movie. If those movies can all get... you know, theatrical releases, then Curse and Cult of Chucky should as well. There's so many other films out there that deserve theatrical releases for horror. If you want to see a funny kids plush like you mentioned your friend got on Prime Day, look up Cuddle Puppets. Stuffed animals that look stoned. There you go. There's a market for everything. My Name, how were they cheap? All or mostly $19.99. I don't know what that's in reference to. What did My Name say? Oh, a lot of the 3D. Oh yeah, no, they have sales. So I think some of the 3D ones were cheap, in fact. Lights Out. Yeah, Lights Out I wasn't a big fan of as the movie. I thought the short that it was based on was way better than the movie itself. I don't know if you guys saw the short for it, let me know. Now, a horror movie that I thought actually did well that was based off a short was Clown. I remember everybody thought it was directed by Eli Roth. No, he just produced it. The creator made the short. He said on the short that it was directed by Eli Roth, essentially to get publicity for it, press, and it worked because Eli Roth reached out to the person and he's like, do you want to create a feature-length film based on that short? So that was like a dream come true. And I really loved Clown, or Cloyne, which is how they pronounced it there. And I love the evolution of the clown, especially towards the end and how creepy it turned out to look. But I thought that was a really unique concept, and that's especially something that's hard to find these days, unique concepts, especially in horror. I tried to watch Suspiria last night, and Netflix sent me what seemed like a bootleg copy. It was recording an old VHS copy. Holy moly, that sounds awful. I would contact them and see what's up with that. Crazy how the director of Clown directed Spider-Man Homecoming. I didn't freaking know that. Holy moly. I wasn't aware at all. If you like short films, check out 2 AM. I will hopefully remember to check that out. But I do like short films, of course. Like the movie Vulgar. That needs a Blu-ray release. It has a clown, right? I haven't seen that one, but I've heard of it. I know it has like a clown on the cover, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any other movie recommendations, especially horror movies to check out. That's obviously my favorite genre. I like all genres of film, but horror is by far my favorite. So I'm always looking for new ones to check out that I might not have. I have Netflix, but I haven't watched anything on Netflix in like 3 months. I plan to break that streak by watching The Void coming up soon. But let me know if there's anything else on Netflix. I was actually disappointed in their horror selection last time I went on there. Scrolling through the comments. Scrolling with my homies. What's that from? Anybody watching? I just got the Planet of the Apes Ultimate DVD collection from eBay for around $100. After watching your unboxing, I had to get it. You know what? That's so crazy. That's one of my favorite releases. I love the heck out of that. It's got the cartoons. I love the Caesar bust. I have it right there, in fact, on the floor. I need to put it up on top of one of the bookcases. But yeah, there's Blu-ray still has a while to catch up to DVD releases. DVD has so many great special special collector's edition, limited collector's editions, blood packs, and all kinds of awesome stuff that Blu-ray still hasn't done yet. But yeah, that was actually I think I paid I paid a little bit over $100 for it when I first got that one. But I was actually so disappointed because a couple years ago, Fox Connect found like a few more, and they ended up selling the stock of it, and they were selling for like $25. I was like, holy moly, that's disappointing. But I'm actually happy, I'm not I really can't say I'm disappointed because I had it in my collection for years, so I got to enjoy it for that long period of time. But it would have been nice to get it for cheaper, of course. I still need to check out Stitches, which I've had for a while now. I know that's another horror or clown horror movie. $100 for a DVD. It's $100 for a DVD set, buddy, that has, at the time, all the Planet of the Apes movies, the cartoon series, and it comes in this awesome Caesar bust set right there. So definitely worth it. But yeah, there's people out there who still pay $100 for just a single DVD. There's a lot of people that still collect it, and there's a lot of ones that are out of print that don't have Blu-ray releases, so it's the only way to get it. But still, yeah, for me, not anymore. Years ago, I probably, would have done that. But is Vulgar by Kevin Smith? I don't think he directed. He must have been a producer or something then. Did he direct it? Because I didn't know that. Rolling with the Homies. There you go. It was a Westlake Entertainment release? I didn't know that. Yes, there you go. Glad to see more people got the Clueless reference. Yeah, the Caesar bust, though, that was just the two recent Planet of the Apes movies, I believe. It didn't have all the old school Planet of the Apes movies, at least as far as I know. And it didn't have the Planet of the Apes cartoon. So that bust set is far inferior, in my opinion, to the DVD bust set. But I would like to get both of those together. I'd like to have the companion. I still need to get the Blu-ray set for it because it does have the new movies. But what I hope they're going to do is do another bust set or some kind of special edition set for all the movies, including the new War of the Planet of the Apes as well. Stitches is fantastic in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I have it in my collection, but for whatever reason, here it is right here, in fact. But for whatever reason, the back of it looks terrible. I got so many people recommending it to me that I picked it up, but I just haven't got down to sit around and watching it. But I should put it up to watch. It's like those, the Electro Bluehead Amazon or Amazing Spider-Man 2 set that was selling for like $15 at Family Dollar. I still haven't picked that up. I actually kind of want to pick that up because you can still get it for cheap. I don't have Family Dollar over here, but even on like Amazon Merchant Sellers and eBay, I see them going for like $35. So I think it's decently for that price point. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it has some kind of entertainment value to it. I got the Blu-ray bust set for $30 on Prime Day. Oh wow! Why didn't somebody tell me about that? I would have picked that one up for sure. For the Caesar, the recent Planet of the Apes movies, I definitely would have pulled the trigger for that price point for sure. Amusement is one of the, yes, Steven Castera, heck to the yes. Amusement is one of the best movies featuring a clown. There's probably one of the second creepiest clown moments for me was in Amusement. I thought the movie overall was okay, but there's a scene in there with the clown that's super creepy. But All Hallows Eve has such... It's Art the Clown is the character in there. All Hallows Eve to me is the creepiest clown movie out there. It's a horror anthology movie set on Halloween. I love the heck out of it. I'm looking forward to Terrifier, which is what it was based on, but they're making another movie with Art the Clown in there. How's October Built? I did not think was good. I love the concept for it, but I thought it was so weak. They could have done so much more with it, and the ending was garbage. And they totally underutilized some of the creepy characters in there. Yoga Hosers I didn't think was terrible. I thought it's super cheesy, super ridiculous. You have to know what you're getting yourself into. If you like cheese-tastic movies, that's what that movie was, and I liked it for what it was, entertainment value wise. But yeah, some of it was a little like, I can't... Johnny Depp's character, he was in Tusk as well. I don't like Tusk for what it was, cinema absurd, but I hated Johnny Depp's character in there. Stitch is a cheesy good time you should put in your watch pile. I need to for sure. Die Hard, yes. How much was the Die Hard set? I already picked that up a while ago. I actually ended up getting that for I think like $60 like last year. So I think I saw that it was right around the same price this time for Amazon Prime. They had that Nakatomi Plaza set for Die Hard. I think it was like less than a day sale. It was like some kind of special thing they had on there. It might have been a glitch, I don't even know, but it was something that was super cheap. Nice. So that is all right. So that's a good deal. I can't knock that for sure. Debating Buying Possession 1980. Oh yeah, that's a fantastic film for sure. It's been a long time since I've seen it. It is expensive. I don't know if I would pay that much for it because I know it does go for a pretty penny. It's been a long time since I watched it, but I remember really enjoying it however many years ago. I want to say at least 5 years ago I watched that. But it was nice to see it get proper treatment like that, for sure. But I think I am going to... yeah, let me know what you guys think. Should I make a separate channel where I talk about, you know, daily life vlogs and talk about dating, my dating life and stuff like that? Because I was going to completely talk about that tonight. And then I was like, that's kind of inappropriate for this channel because sometimes I get complaints, like when I had the Polish girl on here. But let me know, should I do a separate vlog channel for that? Or should I do videos like that on this channel and just put like, you know, not safe for work or 18 plus to, you know, to view or something like that? Let me know what you think about that. Separate channel or keep those kind of, you know, like vlogs on here like that. Yeah, see, yeah, that's the thing. If you don't like it, I could do a whole separate thing. I hope War of the Planet of the Apes is going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Separate channel? All right, we're getting a lot of separate channel. That's fair. That's completely... I like the honesty. I need the honesty. Same channel. See, now you guys are giving me mixed signals. That's the thing. You're never going to please everybody. But I was hoping to get at least a consensus on that one. Yeah, no, I like Woody Harrelson as an actor for sure. I think he's a very talented actor. In fact, he was in a movie called Rampart, which I thought his performance was better than the movie as a whole. His performance was almost Oscar nominee worthy in my opinion, but the movie as a whole could have been better. But I think Woody Harrelson is a phenomenal actor. Who would have guessed that the country bumpkin bartender from Cheers would have become a legendary actor like he is now? He's legendary to me anyways. But all right, guys, I think I'm going to tune in because it's almost coming up to an hour on here, and an hour flies. See, it doesn't seem like it's been an hour. It seems like it's been like 15 minutes, at least to me. I've been talking a mile a minute, like the Micro Machines or Matchbox guy back in the day. But thank you guys for tuning in, and if you have any movie recommendations for me to check out, please leave them on this video once it stops going live and gets posted to YouTube, because all these comments disappear once it gets posted to YouTube, which is a shame. I wish they would keep the comments so I can see all this stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to him joining Star Wars for sure. I saw he's got the hairpiece going on, so that looks awesome. But I heard the actor who's playing Han Solo, the young actor, is terrible. And I heard a lot of people were complaining about his acting, that they have to hire an acting coach for him, and they were likening his acting skills to Jim Carrey's performance in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, which is a terrible comparison for a Star Wars movie lead actor like that. So, but all right, guys, leave me your movie recommendations to check out on the channel once it gets posted to YouTube, or once this video gets posted to YouTube. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great night. Cheers.